Hello! So we tested an experiment to see the impact of honors courses on memorization skills. And this presentation is by Ainsley Bua, Monica Membreno, and Nevaeh Seabloom. What was the main purpose of this experiment? So our main research question that we thought of was, do honors students have a higher memorization ability than non-honors? And we mainly thought these two variables could be linked due to the fact that more material is learned in the same amount of time the semester in an honors environment, which means memorization skills would be needed more and frequently used throughout the course more in an honors environment than a non-honors environment. And our hypothesis and null hypothesis were taking honors classes increase memorization skills, linking the independent and dependent variable. And the null hypothesis was the courses you take do not impact memorization skills, which would mean that the independent variable and the dependent variable would have no correlation whatsoever. Our main prediction that we took into this experiment was if students engage in honors classes, then the students will have a higher capacity of memorization. The variables that we used to test this experiment were an independent variable of the presence or absence of honors in a class. The dependent variable was the highest level that they completed in the test. And then our controlled variables were the time of day taken, which we took the test in either second period or fourth period, which teacher students took the test, and that was Ms. Ziegler's class. The website used for the test, which was Human Benchmark. You'll see that in the next slide. The device test taken on was the district issued MacBook. And what honors or non-honors core class was tested in this experiment, which was Miss Ziegler's biology and non-honors biology class. And we conducted this experiment through Human Benchmark, which is that lovely picture on the left. The test mainly consisted of, it started with a 3x3 block of white blocks, and it made a formation. It either filled or didn't fill a white block, and then that disappeared, and then they'd have to click that same formation or say that they memorized that formation. And when they failed to make that formation or put in a square that wasn't in the formation, then the level and the test would stop, and that would be the level that they ended on. And then after they took that test, they filled out this lovely form that says if you are in normal biology or honors biology, and then they would record the highest level that they completed or the level that they stopped on.
We then took those scores and began dividing both scores into honors biology and a regular biology, placing them into two data charts. In the honors biology, you can see that we had a couple more double-digit scores than in the regular biology class. In the regular biology class, there was also an outlier, which was number 13. Yes, it's Ainsley circling. You can also see that in order to meet our 50 our 50 data point criteria, we needed to ask some of our band members as well to participate in the test and answer our survey. We then took those scores and graphed them using the means. We then used our standard deviation calculated to create our error bars. And considering that the ranges began to overlap, we could start seeing some evidence that it would be possible that our null hypothesis would be rejected.
And you could also see in the confidence levels down here, the confidence levels overlapped quite a bit, which is represented in this bar and this bar, which was just adding or subtracting the standard deviation from the mean to get those error bars, which means that the mean could be anywhere between those two bars on each bar.
Then due to the data's continuous and discrete characteristics, we decided to use a t-test. Because the p-value was greater than 0.5, we could also conclude that there was no significant difference, meaning that the differences were likely due to chance rather than any experimental correlation that we first inferred. And that could just be due to the fact that we don't really know whether the students do study every night or which students do study, whether they're in honors or non-honors class. We also don't know what methods of studying they use and methods of memorization. And some of those could be similar to the test that we present to them or different, meaning that our t-test proved that we failed to reject the null hypothesis, meaning that the courses you take do not impact your memorization skills.